Your presence in this place, your glory on our face. We're looking to the sky, descending like a cloud. You're standing with us now. Lord, unveil our eyes. You're the reason we're here. You're the reason we're singing. Open up the heavens.
Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you, we live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Oh, we live for you. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes and I want to show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Oh, we live for you. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes and I want to show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. And I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation. I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken. And I will build my life
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Fairmont Park Church via all of the internets. And so I'm thankful that you are watching this streaming version of our sermon. And I'm also thankful that we live in an age where we have the technology, the ability to do this. Not having church in the on campus, it gives us a chance to say thank you to our volunteers, to everybody who makes what we do on Sunday mornings happen, and don't want to take them for granted. We're very, very thankful for them. So it is almost January the 1st, in which New Year's resolutions are a big deal. And I know there's a lot of statistics out there that say they don't really matter, they don't really count, because most people, by the time spring break comes around, most people have stopped there and given up on their New Year's resolutions. So, but for me, the kind of personality I have, I kind of like them, and it gives me goals to strive for. And throughout the year, you can always, if you stop doing them, you can always start back up, because you remember that you had this plan at some point during the year. So I have some personal goals I want to share with you. They really have nothing to do with the Bible. I just want to share with you some of my personal goals and give you a little insight into my life. My first goal for the year of 2026 is very simply, number one goal of the year is to make Julie happy, and which should be relatively easy because she's just great. We've been married. We just celebrated our 32nd anniversary. We dated for 5 years before that, so we've been together almost 40 years, and she's only like 42 years old, so that makes it really interesting. But anyway, so my goal is to make Julie happy, and she's the kind of person that if somebody asks her if she wants to go with them, her automatic answer is yes, and then her first question is, where are we going? What are we going to do? But it really doesn't matter, because she's already said yes, and she's willing to go. So she likes trips, and she likes live music, and so that's what we'll try to do this year. As our kids are mostly out of the house, we have a little more free time, not necessarily a little more free money, but we can find some stuff to do that are away from the house. In fact, we just got back this morning as I'm recording this. This morning we got back from Houston. So Sunday night, after our Christmas service on Sunday morning, we packed up and we went into Houston and spent the night at a hotel, but we went to go to a concert. And so she just had the time of her life, and it was fun. And if she's happy, then I'm happy, and all the kids get the residual effects of that. So I really want to make Julie happy this year. I also want to do some of this kind of a combination of my job being a pastor and trying to overcome some of the shadow sides of my personality, and that is simply to make new friends. I'm the kind of person, when I was growing up, I was so terribly shy that I didn't even know how to make friends. In fact, even by the time I was in college, I spent my first 3 years of college, I never met anybody in any of my classes, and most of my professors, almost all of them, except for one or two, I never even spoke to them a word, because it's hard for me to make new friends, but I really want to start trying to do that. And part of it's because I'm the pastor of a church, and I've begun to realize that there are so many people that I can insulate myself with the people who go to our church, and most of us think alike. A lot of us have, whether we're the same with regard to politics, we have the same kind of worldview. And so I've gotten to the place where I really enjoy talking to people and meeting people that don't have the same worldview as I am, and trying to get some perspective into their life. So make Julie happy and make new friends. But I also want to reinstate what I used to do, called Fancy Fridays. Julie is a teacher, so she worked on Fridays, and I am Here at the church, we had Fridays off most of the time, or almost all the time. So I would watch these cooking shows on Thursday night or Friday morning, and then I would go to the store and find something to cook, and I would cook it. And my kids, as they became seniors, a lot of seniors have kind of spotty classes. They have a few classes here and there, but most of them try to rearrange their classes so they could be home around lunchtime or after lunch, and they would get to eat with me. And I learned how to cook all different kinds of things, and we did all kinds of meals and preparations and game and just different kinds of foods that we never would have tried before. And so I want to start cooking again like that. Now I still cook. I just cook whatever I want to eat, but I want to get some new ideas and have a little creativity. The fourth thing I really want to do this year is really just to live life. If left up to myself, I'm a pretty sedentary person. I like to read, I like to cook, I like to lay on the couch and watch TV shows. And so if I just gave in to that side of me, then I would just have a set routine every Friday, every Saturday, every Sunday, and then going to work from Sunday to Thursday would be a set routine also. But I really learned this from my kids. My oldest son, it's hard for him to sit still. And since he has little girls now, twin girls that are 2.5 years old, he really can't afford to sit still. He has to entertain them. And so he does a lot of stuff outdoors. And then my second son is away in Austin. My third son is here back at home living with us, and he gets calls all the time from his friends. Hey, you want to go do this? Do you want to go play golf? Do you want to go over here? Do you want to go fishing? All that kind of stuff. And what I've learned from them is that it's, life only passes by once, and a year goes by really fast. It's December. We know that. So I want to just live life as it comes. So my kids and I have started playing tennis a whole lot. My kids and nephew and niece and some other friends. It's something I never really did, and certainly didn't really do anything of the aerobic capacity. And so we started playing tennis. We every once in a while get our tent out, and I'll set it up in the backyard, and I'll spend the night in the tent when the weather's nice and the humidity's not too bad. And so I just want to do stuff outside and live life and not get to the end of my life and realize that I missed a lot of opportunities. So those are my personal goals. But because I'm a preacher and the pastor at Fairmont Park Church, one of the things that I have to do every year, and I like doing it, is setting goals for the church. So I'm going to talk about some goals that we have for Fairmont Park Church. Some of them are built on what we started last year as we began rebuilding. COVID really did a number on us. We had some staff problems. We had just culture has changed, and a lot of things have changed. And so our church really changed a lot. And so we've had to kind of revamp everything, and we've had to basically rebuild. And we get this concept from the book of Nehemiah. If you've never read that book, then it's a pretty short book, but it tells a really, really good story. So we have 3 goals here at Fairmont Park that we're really going to concentrate on. Some of them are continuations of what we did last year, but there's going to be new iterations of them. But some of them are brand new. And so the first goal is, last year we started talking about growing big people. And when we talk about big people, we talk about people who are spiritually mature, spiritually deep, and spiritually want to be more like God. And our goal this year is to grow even more big people. So the book of Ephesians talks to pastors. Part of it does in chapter 4, and it tells us what our job is. And listen to this, Ephesians chapter 4, verses 11 and following. And he gave the apostles, prophets, the evangelists, the shepherds, and the teachers. He gave all of those to his great big universal church. And this is why in verse 12, in order to equip the saints for the work of ministry, for building up the body of Christ until we all attain to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, to mature manhood, to the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. And so the job of a pastor, or the job of somebody who's been called by God to ministry, is to build people up until they are mature in Christ. And so we started a couple of things last year, the year 2025, this year actually, and even late into 2024, that we want to build on. One of those is our dig classes, our Bible studies, our Sunday school, whatever you want to call it. And we want to strengthen that. We want to get more people involved, and we want for those classes to have more involvement in the church. Another thing we did is I started a book club. I picked a book, and I personally invited about 12 young men to meet in my house, and we would discuss this book. And it was really, really a neat time. It was a lot smaller. In fact, we met on 2 nights of the week. We met on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. It was the same study, and the guys would either come on Tuesday or on Wednesday, depending on their schedule. And so we started this book club, and it was a way to kind of focus Bible study on a particular topic or a particular study. And so in 2026, we're going to strengthen those 2 things. Our dig groups, we're going to strengthen. We're going to reach out. We're going to publicize them more. We're going to encourage people more often, and maybe perhaps a little stronger to get involved, more strongly to get involved in our dig groups, our Sunday school classes. But also, I'm going to do a book club again, maybe 2 times this next year. For a few people who seem interested in growing into the fullness of the maturity of Christ. To do this, we need to mobilize the saints who attend Fairmont Park Church. When I say saints, I'm not talking about all of our perfect people. I'm talking about what Ephesians chapter 4 calls those who are believers. They are saints. Some of them are saints in training. Some of them are saints in inertia. They're just sedate, and they're not doing anything right now, but they need to be doing something. And so in order to resemble something that looks like saintliness. So the way that you can participate in this, in one of Fairmont Park Church's goals, is just very simply to show up to a dig class. We have dig classes that are graded by age. Of course, we have preschoolers and children and teenagers, but for our adults, we have dig 1, 2, 3, and 4. Our dig 4 group is our youngest group. It's mostly in their 20s, and we have a good combination of single guys and girls and young married people. The dig 2 group, the dig 3 group is kind of our mid-20s through the age of 40 or 45 or something like that. But again, let me say this. You can go to any group you want to. You don't have to go to the group that your age assigns you to that number. The dig 3 group actually meets at 11 o'clock after the worship service on Sunday mornings. Dig 4, which is the youngest group, and then dig 2, which is some of our seasoned veterans, maybe people who've been in church for a while, or people who have kids that are out of the house, kids who are young adults. They meet at 9 o'clock also upstairs in the fellowship hall. And then there's our classics, our dig 1 group, which is basically the age of 65, 60 and older. Now, some ladies and men in there might be a little younger, but that's the age group, and they're doing really, really good. They have a neat ministry, and they meet at 9 o'clock in the mornings also. So we want to grow more big people, and you can be involved in that. It's just showing up for an extra hour on Sunday morning that you're not doing. Most people aren't doing anything else at that hour. And so we want you to participate in that. The second thing that Fairmont Park Church is going to focus on, one of our goals, is again a continuation of our men's ministries and our women's ministries. In 2026, we continued for the women what's called the gathering. They met every month in the fellowship hall, except for the summertime, because a lot of these young ladies are mothers and their kids are home all day and they're tired, or they can't find childcare, or they're for whatever reason. But they had started earlier than 2025, but they still continue to meet. Miss Tina Turner leads that class. But we also started a men's ministry called our men's club, and they do several different things. One, weekly they meet in a dig group. There's a dig group for men that meets at 11 o'clock on Sundays, but it also meets on Monday nights up here at the church. I think it's 5:30. I might be wrong, but it might be 6 or 6:30. I think it might be 6:30. But you can find those times out on our website or here at the church. So the men's group do that weekly, and then monthly we have a breakfast. And we eat well. Mr. Orlando Turner provides our meal for us, and he cooks for us, and we eat, and we have a little devotional. I give a little devotional, and then once we do that once a month, except for the months 4 times a year, once a quarter, that we have men's club. And men's club takes place on Sunday afternoons, late afternoon, early evening at 5:30. And it usually has a theme. It's meat oriented, and it's just a lot of fun. And so we would invite you to participate in those things. But we're also going to focus in 2026, we're going to focus even more strictly on young families with children, like in their 20s and their 30s, who have children basically in preschool and elementary age. We're going to do some things that target those guys. Our book club will probably target some of those guys, but it's going to be an even narrower focus. We're still going to continue to do all those other things for everybody, but we are going to do some things that target specifically the young, especially young men and young men with spouses and with children. And to do this, we need men who want to learn how to be a real man in this world, no matter how the world defines it. We want to define it biblically in a godly way. And we also need women who learn how to be real women. It's much harder. I would be the first to admit it's much harder being a woman than it is to be a man in this world. And that's why women are tougher than men. A lot of times they're smarter than men. But it seems like even though that's true, that men need a little more help. So we're gonna try to do those things. So you can start. You can get involved in these things by meeting with the gathering, the ladies, one time a month. And men, you can get started on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. or Mondays at 5:30, or you can eat breakfast with us, start eating breakfast with us when we'll publicize that, and then come to the men's club event, which is once a quarter, once every 3 months. So we're going to have in January, we'll have a breakfast for the men, and we'll have a gathering meeting for the ladies. So we want to focus on men's and women's ministry. Also, with regard to our crash, part of our theology is that the cross was about so much more than simply the salvation of individuals. We do believe it was about that, but it's an even bigger vision, a bigger expression of that. God came to save the world. In John 3:16, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. We believe that word, we know that word for world doesn't mean everybody in the world. It means everything in creation. So God loved all of his creation so much that he sent his son Jesus to redeem all of that creation. And part of that includes places where we live. And so we get this verse out of Psalms the 82nd Psalm, verses 3 and 4 says this. It says, give justice to the weak and to the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. And we live in a great community. It's one of the better communities in the Houston area, but there are still some flaws. There's still some shadows of darkness in the city of LaPorte, in our community. And that's why we say we want to crash the community. We want to help people see, be the source of people seeing little glimpses of heaven. When people go from poverty to sustainability, when people go from racism to love, when people go from pain and addiction and all of those things to wholeness, those are glimpses of heaven. That's what's in heaven. There's no racism, there's no poverty, there's no depression or anxiety in heaven. So in the year 2025, we got the opportunity to walk across the street from LaPorte Elementary School and LaPorte Junior High to where kids after school who do not have a place to go, their homes aren't open to them, their parents aren't there, or it's not a safe place to be, they all walk over to the library. And the library just wasn't built to handle, and it wasn't staffed to handle 80 to 120 kids every single day that walk over from school and stay there until the library closed. Well, there was a man in town that saw that, and he felt the need, and he started feeding the kids. And so he did that 4 times a week. We found out about it, and we started serving with him. And so now he's asked us about once or twice a week, he'll ask us to provide the meal and to provide all the people to serve these kids. And so some of these kids who otherwise wouldn't have anything to eat until their parents get home from the time they had lunch, like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at school, until their parents got home after dark. Of course, now half the day feels like it's after dark, but so they were fed at the library, and now we have an opportunity. He's going to start a place. The man who started this is going to start another place over on the north side of LaPorte. So we have the opportunity to meet with 80 to 100 kids a day, every day of the school week, 5 times a week, starting in January, and feed those kids. So in 2026, we're going to be able to feed 80 to 100 kids 5 times a week. And let me tell you a neat story. One story is, as we were talking about this, the people who are leading this charge, Michael and Christy Hanks, they were talking about feeding the kids, and I started asking them how much it costs to feed the kids and where they were getting their money and all that kind of stuff. Well, he said he had posted something on Facebook, and he got a huge response to it, and he had collected a certain amount of money. And I said, okay, so let's figure out how much money it will take to feed these kids until the end of school. So he did the math, and he called, texted me back that night, and he said, hey, I did the math. There's 88 days left in school. It costs $1 a kid, or $1.50 a kid for 100 kids, 5 times a week. That comes out to about $13,250. And he said, guess what? In our donations, the amount that's been donated is $13,275. So all that means is somebody miscounted and gave $25 too much. But other than that, what it means is that God, this is something that we feel like God is really going to bless. He's already provided the money to make it through the end of the school year. So feeding our kids is a way to develop contact with those who need to learn how to live a biblical life in a non-biblical world. Psalm says, give justice to the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. And this is one of the ways that we can do that. Now, the last verse is this: the nation of Israel had been disobedient to God, and God had punished them, taken them into captivity. And they were away from their temple, they were away from their promised land, and they thought that they were away from God. And they didn't know what to do in this new country, in this new exile they were in. And in Jeremiah, he wrote a letter to the exiles. And this is what he said in Jeremiah chapter 29. He says, hey, calm down. So that's my version. Calm down, settle down, build houses and live in those houses, plant gardens and eat of its produce. Take wives and sons and daughters. Take wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage, that they may bear sons and multiply. Multiply there and do not decrease. But seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile, and pray to the Lord on its behalf. For in its welfare you will find your welfare. We fight for the good of the city because God says, I sent you there. And so everybody who's listening to this, you need to know that the place where you're living, it didn't surprise God that you ended up there. And he already had plans, and he says, plant deep roots there that go to the next generation, because you're going to be there a while, and I can be there too if you invite me. We are all of us who are believers are exiles on this earth waiting for the kingdom of God. Do what good you can while you're here. Now, this takes breadth and it takes depth. It takes a lot of people over a long period of time. It takes many churches and it takes several generations. Think about this. The idea of America started in 1620 at Plymouth Rock. And for 156 years, it was just there, an idea. But in the year 1776, it grew to 13 independent colonies that declared their independence from the nation of England. And by the way, 1776 was, in the year 2026, it's going to be the 250th anniversary of that year. And so what was originally a single place, Plymouth Rock in 1620, is now 50 states covering half of a continent, holding power over the whole globe, over all the world. We who are followers of Christ have landed in a new world. There's going to be a revolution, and you can speed up the revolution and direct the revolution by doing your part, by joining a dig group, by becoming a biblical man or a woman, and volunteering at the library. Don't let life thrust itself on you. Don't let life just happen to you. Find God's will for your life and start living life. You guys have a great week. Have a great new year. It's the end of one year. I hope 2025 was great for you, and 2026 is going to be even better.
In the darkness, we were waiting without hope, without light, till from heaven you came running. There was mercy in your eyes to fulfill the law and prophets, to that stone